Yeah, let's go ahead and start for today. A quick recap what we have covered last week. So on day one, we covered Terraform history. We have seen difference between Terraform ARM templates and cloud formation. We have seen providers, what is the resource, and we have seen some basic commands. Terraform init, validate, plan, apply, destroy, and we also did labs. On day three, we have seen variables, how to declare variables. We have also seen variable assignments, different types of variables, variable types, data types, I mean there. Uh, on day four, we have seen Terraform outputs. That is in our last class, we have seen Terraform outputs, Terraform locals. Then we started Terraform State Management, a new topic, and where we covered locals, local state file, and remote state file. How do we maintain local state file and remote state file? And this is just a part one of Terraform State Management. We'll be covering the part two. And today's plan is state commands. The other state commands like list show will be seeing, remove, import, pull, push. So these commands we'll be seeing, and we'll be doing lab on these commands. And leftover part is this. We still have workspaces, modules, resource meta arguments, lifecycle rules, dynamic blocks. So these are the leftover topics as part of this series. Let's go and begin with day five. Something here related to state. So it actually shows all the resources Terraform tracks. The second command is Terraform state show. Space resource shows detailed state info for a resource. So this command, when you pass on the resource details here, it will show the complete details of that resource, which are mentioned inside the state file or which Terraform is tracking. Let's go ahead and do a quick lab on these two. Then we'll see the Terraform state mode. Main.tf file. So this is the folder state list and show. So this has main.tf file, providers.tf, and .terraform log.hcl. This folder. And I'll begin with Terraform init. This should be quick. And Terraform apply hyphen auto approve. So these resources I actually deleted a while back. So I wanted to create them. So plan 3 to add. So this will go ahead and create three resources. One is a resource group and Terraform storage account, and then a container. Once these resources are created, we will go ahead and check the Terraform state file and we'll understand what we have there. Then we'll see how the Terraform list will help to understand this Terraform state file. Okay, this is done, and I see the first resource, Azure Resource Group. This entire block is related to that. And the second one is a storage account. This block is related to that. And third one is related to container. Now let me run Terraform state list and see what it has. You can see it is listing three of the resources. One is a Terraform state resource group. One is related to Terraform storage. The third one is related to Terraform state group. One way of me understanding what all the resources my Terraform is managing is coming to my state file and going through each of the resources. Okay, the first one is this, second one is this, third one is this. Okay, and if I want to see the details of the first resource group, I need to open that block and I can go through the things. Okay, so now I don't want to touch my Terraform state file or open it. I just want to see it through the console. So how I will do? I will just go ahead and run Terraform state list. This shows me the list of the Terraform resources which are created. So this is how you can check the Terraform state list. Now the other part is how I can check the resource details. So in that case, we use Terraform state show. Then I want to see something related to my storage account. You just copy this the output from the Terraform state list, paste that and press enter. So this will show you the details of the storage account which got created, the entire details related to storage account. You can see the storage account is a hot tire storage, and kind is this, replication is LRS. You can also see some more details like the blob URL or DFS, everything, file, queue, table, everything related to the storage. So this is how you can check. So that's how the Terraform state list and state show will work for us to understand the states of the resources managed by Terraform. Yeah. Now let's see the third command. What is the third command? This Terraform state move. This is a little tricky. Even for me to understand, it has taken some time. What is Terraform state move? How it works? Let's see that. So why do we use that? So use it to change the resource addresses inside the state file without modifying the real Azure resources. It is used to change the resources addresses inside the state file without modifying the real Azure resource. Second point is moves resources between the modules. If you want to move the resources between the modules, you can use this Terraform state move. The third point is Terraform state move only updates Terraform's mapping, no API calls to Azure. That means when you run this Terraform state move command, it will update the Terraform state mapping inside the state file and no API calls to Azure. That means it won't create or update or try to fetch any data from Azure. The fourth point is use it when refactoring code into modules to prevent Terraform from recreating resources. So I have made a lab for this. How do you refactor code into modules to prevent Terraform from recreating resources? That means so far I have used resource block and all right. Now I will go ahead and use, so I have created resources using resource block. Now I will, as part of this module, I will go ahead and create resources using module block. So refactoring code into modules to prevent Terraform from recreating resources. I understand that I have not covered modules, but as part of this lab, we'll just touch base on what is module and how do we use this Terraform move command. The next point is use it for renaming resources. Suppose I have created a VM and it has certain name. So there, I got a requirement that I should be renaming this VM. For example, it was all these days the VM was a dev resource, and I want to make it a shared resource. And in the name -dev, as part of nomenclature, I have a -dev. I want to make it -sh. That is a shared. So during that renaming resources, we can use this Terraform state mode. Next is if plan shows destroy create after refactoring, don't apply, fix the state. So we don't destroy or create as part of this Terraform state move. If in case when you are running Terraform plan, if it is showing destroy or create as part of this refactoring, that means there is something going wrong. Then you have to go through your configuration files, state files, and fix that properly. So as part of state mode, this should not come. It should show no changes. Always back up the state before moving. So when you are trying to make changes using Terraform state move, it's a best practice to take a backup. There are certain ways to take the Terraform state backup. One is the Terraform state pull, which we'll be covering today. And the other one is you can manually copy the state file and save it somewhere. The next point is Terraform state move is the safe way to refactor without deleting your Azure resources. As I said earlier, we are not going to destroy or create anything. That means it is a safe way to refactor without deleting your Azure resources. So we will not be deleting any resources. Even during renaming, it will generally when you do this Terraform apply, what you will do, the VM will be deleted, then it will create. So that won't happen. Just the rename, a general rename will work, and entire properties will remain same. What actually happens during Terraform state move? So there are three steps I listed here. So what is happening in the background? Terraform does not call any Azure APIs. When you run Terraform state move, it does not call any Azure APIs that we have seen. Only the state file changes. Only the state file changes will be made as part of this. Old address will be removed and a new address will be added here inside the state file. Because Azure is untouched, no recreation happens if addresses match config. So if the configs are matching, no Azure resources will be created. Let's go ahead and do this lab and let's see how this state move works. State move. As part of this lab, you see three of the folders. Okay, one is a modules folder, step A and step B, and a quick notes on this, which you can use for doing this lab. The first folder has modules, which we'll be using in step B. And step A is a general way which we have been doing the like creating resources. We have been using resource block, right? So that it so this step A contains that, and step B has a modules. First, let's do the step A. I'll go ahead and create a resource group. One thing, I'll just rename this. Okay, control this file, save, perform init. I'll go ahead and create this directory. Okay, I need to move to step A, then do Terraform init. As part of step A, we are creating a resource group. And then I will say Terraform apply -auto. So now you see the state file is created. So now you got a requirement that you have been all these days you have been using. You're not using modules so far. So now you have to refactor all your code so that you can use modules. So that is the requirement. Step A is a traditional way where you are not using modules. Now the requirement has come to move everything into modules. So now how you will do? You'll go to step B and see how this block can be make what all the steps we need to take to refactor this to modules. We'll go to step B, change directory to step. What I have inside this step B? One is main.tf file. So as part of refactoring to modules, I have mentioned a module. So here the module block will be like this, module -rg. And I need to provide the source. Where is this module? This module is inside this module rg_module main.tf file. This main.tf file is having a resource again. Okay, the similar to how we were using. It has this. This is the name. Name is var.name and location is var.location, and we can pass the name and location from your module block, which I did from here. Okay, I gave the source path, then the name and location I'm passing. So for now, you just understand we are trying to refactor the modules and module block we have declared here. Important things which we need to focus on are, so this is now ready. Next, we'll go ahead and run Terraform. Before Terraform init, I need to copy my state file here. Okay, then I will say cp. I'm copying my state file from step A to this one. So which I just now copied. So the state file is here and everything declared here is Terraform. It is in resources. How I can check? I can check from Terraform list. Okay, sorry, Terraform state list. So this is how it is looking. Azure RM underscore resource underscore group dot app. Now I'll first initialize this folder because I just added mm, my test state file. Next is now move the resource address in state file. So this is the command. You just copy it. So as part of this command, you can see Terraform state space move. And this is the address. This is the old address. Azure RM resource underscore group dot app. See, this is what we have seen, right? Like here, Terraform state list we have seen. This one. This is the old address. Now I want to change that to module. Module Azure module.rg.azure resource group dot app. So how do you get this is inside this main.tf module rg one, and this module has main.tf. Copy that and just going back here. So this is what it is. Okay, this is the same thing which I want to move to. So now let's go ahead and run it. You see the output is move Azure resource group app to module rg Azure RM resource group app. Successfully moved one object. Now the time is to verify whether it is moved or not. Let's list this down. So Terraform state list, when you run this command, you see this module rg. So now this mapping is changed to module. So when you run this Terraform state plan, so the output should be no changes. Okay, you see the names are different. Thing which I should be doing. Let me do this again. Created B, right? File, save. Okay, you should be a little careful when we are doing this lab. If the names are different, then also it will show. So if plan shows destroy or create after refactor, don't apply, fix the state first. So that is what we are trying to do now, trying to refactor from the resource to modules. But when I see that the resource group name itself is wrong, then it is thinking, okay, now you are trying to create a new resource group. It is not destroying and creating, it is trying to rename. It is trying to rename this from B-RG-501 to A-RG-501. So which I don't want to do. I will save this file, save, do a fresh copy. And Terraform init. Then I'll say Terraform move. I'll pick the command from the notes. Changes are made. I'll check from Terraform plan. So you see this, now the changes are not made. So the overall goal of using the Terraform state move is that I don't want anything to be created or destroyed. I just want to refactor everything from resource to modules, which I am able to achieve by just using some of these commands. Okay, I'll go ahead and do the next lab, Terraform state remove. So before that, few concepts. Okay, what is state remove? Terraform state remove. So this removes an item from state. So you should be little careful when you are running this command. So Terraform will recreate it in next apply. So when you are working with state commands, you should be little careful, especially with state remove or move, because it is going ahead and making few changes in the state file. State list and state show are not harmful because it will just read, and they are like get commands. It will show you the outputs. But when you run Terraform state move and Terraform state remove, you should be very careful what you are trying to do. Here, the fourth command is Terraform state remove. This will remove a resource, entire resource block from the state file. Update your config files once the resource is removed from state file to avoid recreating. So you have removed a block from Terraform state file. Now you also need to update the similar, update the config files as well, because that config file has a resource block to create that particular resource. You will need to remove that also. Then uh, that particular resource will be out of Terraform state management. And the third point is Terraform will search the state for any instances matching the given resource address and remove the record of each one, so that Terraform will no longer be tracking the corresponding remote objects. Terraform remote state remote, you can pass the multiple resource addresses here. It will remove one after other. It will remove the records of that resources from the state. And when you use this command, so Terraform will no longer managing that resource. Before we go ahead and move to state remove lab, I would also love to cover state import, because the lab has both a remove and import. So what is Terraform state import? So this import brings existing real cloud resources into Terraform state. If something is created manually in Azure, you can import it, so Terraform starts managing it. Terraform learns about an existing resource. It does not create anything. This is one important command, and there will be definitely one question related to Terraform import. So the question will be like this: someone from your team has created a resource in the cloud manually. How do you bring it to the Terraform state? I mean, Terraform management, under Terraform management. So how we will do that? Using Terraform state import. So we will see that in the lab. I have main.tf file. So as part of this lab, we will go ahead and create a resource group, Azure Storage account, and Azure Storage container. Then we'll go ahead and do the lab. Okay. We'll see the Terraform state remove there. Terraform init. TRRAF. Yeah, spelling is wrong. Terraform apply. I'll go ahead and do this directly. I believe we created these resources earlier, which is good. Yeah, we have created those resources. Then We can use the same resources because the names and everything are same. For this, I need, where did I create these resources? I think step A, list and show. I'll copy this state here. These are the same resources and same config file, so I'm sure we can reuse the same. And now let's see Terraform state list. Okay, I need to save this file, save, then let me run this. They're in the same lab, right? Mm. Let me run Terraform init first. Okay, sorry, we change directory to 05. Terraform init, then Terraform state list. So now you see that I have this resources under this resources in my Terraform state list. I want to remove one of them from my Terraform state. So as part of this lab, what we'll do, the first thing is we'll go to this particular folder. Then we have initialized and we applied. So this part is already done, and we have listed that these resources are there. So now we can see these three resources are there. And the next command is we will remove one of the resource from state using the state rm command. Let me copy this, or let me go ahead and directly do this, because the resource name is little different, Terraform State RM, and I would say I want to remove the container. Or I'll go ahead and remove the storage account. Let me try. So this is now successfully removed Azure RM storage account from TF storage. And I will also remove this as well, because this is integral part of my storage account. Container is part of that, so it's better to remove that as well. So this is also removed. So now what all the resources are under Terraform State Management, Terraform State List. So now only the resource group is managed by Terraform here in this lab. So after removing those two, now how I can bring it back. Even if I go ahead and run Terraform plan, I see the output will look something like this. So it says now you have to go ahead and create a storage account and also a container. So what is happening? Terraform thinks the storage account does not exist. So it will try to create a new storage account. And it shows like this, Terraform will be created, some which we can see here, right? And it is also trying to create a container as well. But actually those resources were already available. So it simply says to add like that. The problem is that a Terraform state does not have um, these resource details inside the state now. So as part of Terraform state import, I have given a scenario that I created one resource manually. Now I want to bring it to my state management. So this is one scenario where two of the resources are not under the state management now. So how I can bring it back to my state management? I can use Terraform import here to bring it back to my state management. Let me go ahead and how to fix this using import. If plan shows this conflict, teach okay, this is reattach Azure resources using, okay, get storage account resource ID. So how I can get the storage account resource ID? So one is I can go ahead and run this command to get the storage account resource ID, or else I can go here. This is my storage account and I need to pick the resource ID. The simple way is I will go to JSON, copy. So any resource, right? You go to overview. Do you want to get the resource ID? Click on overview. Then there is a JSON view. Click on that. Here you can see the resource ID. Just copy that. Then you go ahead and run Terraform import space resource ID. Paste that. Okay. I think I need to put this in here. Okay, I think I need to fix something here. But now, I will be showing this lab tomorrow, Terraform import. I don't want to spend much time here on fixing this. We'll go ahead and move to the next commands. Okay, I'll show that tomorrow. Next is Terraform state pull and push. So the takeaway from this Terraform state import is that you can bring the resource back to the Terraform state management using this Terraform import command. State pull and push. Let's go ahead and see the next command, Terraform push. So what is Terraform push, state push? It will upload your local state file to a remote backend. So it will be used to upload your local state file to a remote backend. Like here, I have the state file here. If I want to push it to my backend, I can use this Terraform state push command. Useful only when manually fixing or syncing a corrupt or old state file. When do we use this? We use this only when you are manually fixing or syncing a corrupt or old state file. Sends your local state to remote backend. So what it does, sends your local state file to remote backend. So this is a Terraform state push, and next is Terraform state pull. Pull equal to download the current remote state file to our local machine. Terraform state pull will download your state file from remote to your local. You use it to view, debug, or compare what's stored in remote state. Gets remote state local, read only unless you manually edit it. When do we use Terraform stateful? I have four points. Why do we use this Terraform stateful? The first point is debugging state issues. So you think state is corrupted or mismatched with Azure resources. So few times the state gets corrupted. So during that time, you want to fix that state file. During that, you pull this and comparing two state versions. You want to compare two state versions. What are the differences? During that time, you use this state pull, backing up the current state manually. So you want to back up state manually and put it in your local system. You can use this state pull. The fourth is checking what Terraform is tracking. So you want to check what Terraform is tracking. During that is so when you run this Terraform state list or state show, so it will be little slower because you are running it on you are connecting to Azure, then you are checking there, then it has to come back and show you the output. But when you start managing this in the local, uh, trying to debug or something, you want to check, right? So during that, you use this Terraform stateful. So what all the resource it is tracking. So the local will be much faster. When do we use Terraform? This is state push. State file got corrupted in remote backend. Download locally, fix JSON, push the corrected file. So, so state pull and state push, they work in a similar way. I mean, the requirement will be same. So you download it, fix it, and you push it back to the remote. So accidental deletion of remote state. So sometimes accidentally the state got deleted on a remote. So you have a local copy. Now you will be able to push it to remote. Backend migration issues. Some backend migration issues are going on. Um, then you want to save it locally. Then after fixing this backend, um, could be a storage container or whatever it is, using for storing this backends. Then during that time, you use the state post. Manually repairing mismatched resource IDs. You want to repair mismatched resource ID. So during that time, you use this, you pull that, then you edit it, then you push it. So this is when we use Terraform state pull and push. Please don't get confused with this. I will go ahead and correct this. I just need to update this as push. Okay, I'll go ahead and ask you questions, then let's see. I have 10 resources in my state file. There are two ways to check what all the resources which are managed by Terraform. How I can check? What are those two ways?
Use Terraform show list.
Terraform
Show in
list, Terraform state list is one command. Next, the next one is you can also manually check, right, in the state file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
TF state file.
What is difference between state list and state show?
show show will give you a detailed information of the resource ID maybe, and list is like a listing all the resources just as a the tracks and all.
Super. Yeah, correct. And what is this state move? Terraform state move.
Without recreating the resources, we can move from the state management from individual resources to modules level or modules to resource level.
Yeah, correct. And what is the state remove? What it does when I run the state remove? What will happen?
So
When do
that
we use
particular
this command? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just to remove the specific item of a resource item from the state file, a specific resource item.
so the Terraform will not monitor that resource,
Yeah.
not keep a state of that resource.
Super. Yeah. Okay. And let's go ahead and do the last lab for the day, Terraform state push and pull. So I have this backend TF file, and the main.tf has this. So I just have this resource group. Go to the other folder, state pull and push, CLS, Terraform init. So now I'm initializing. So when I run this Terraform init, now that I added a new file, backend.tf, use this backend unless the backend configuration changes. So Terraform init is an important command for using backends. So it will fetch the backend details here in Terraform init. Now I'll say Terraform list, state list, just to see what are all there. Thing are there. I will run Terraform. Apply auto approve. So it is acquiring state log. So now it is creating a resource, and the state is now being created in the backend, that is in the storage account. Okay, now I'll say Terraform state pull. I want to save this to Terraform dev.terraform.tf state pull, and I want to copy to dev.terraform in my local terraform.tf state. So you see a new file is created, dev.terraform.tf state. So it has these details. Okay, if I want to push it, I just need to use state. Push, then give the file name. Then you just press enter. It will push this file to the backend details which I have given to that file. It will push. But you can see that it is acquiring the state log and trying to push it. These are two simple commands where you can push and pull the state files. Going back to this one, what we have covered today: state commands, list, and show we have covered. Then we have seen what is Terraform state move, Terraform state remove. We have also seen import, pull, push commands. Then we did labs on list, show, move, remove, import, pull, push. So that is what we have done today. And one part is pending. Import I couldn't show you properly. I will try to show you in the tomorrow morning. Then we'll continue with workspaces tomorrow.